You got a pair of horns! This is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Why would anyone want to wear a second pair of horns? Unless maybe they were compensating for a particularly nubby pair. Oh, you got it. Humans wear these to pretend to be trolls and also be less stupid looking. These clearly belong to a human. Case closed. You got a lance! Whose memory is this? This thing has really made the rounds. Let's see, Tavros had it, but then was impaled by it. The Black Queen had it, and used it as a cigarette holder sometimes, when she was Snowman. Spade Slick wielded it while riding around on a horse hitcher once. Snowman killed Quarters with it, you think. That happened in the top banner though, so you might have missed it. Mina has no idea what we're talking about. You got a Sufferer pendant! Exhibiting the sign of the signless. The story of the Sufferer got really popular among your old crew as a kind of religious fad, after everyone died and learned the story of their post-scratch lives. Aurania especially seems to have bought into this nonsense hook, line, and sinker. She never wore anything like that around her neck before she died. You wonder if people have gotten so into it just to bug Vantis. You just know it probably pisses him off seeing people wear this thing all the time. Now that you think of it, maybe you'll wear one too. You got a whole stack of boondollars. Keep 'em coming. You'll be rich again in no time. Pretty soon you'll own this place. Right after you save it from destruction, of course. How does this factor into the big silly tumbler metaphor? Shrug. You got a whole heap of boondollars. Mo money. Smiley face. Some of these messages don't really make sense unless you're being Nina, but you're not going to let that bother you. DWI. You got a Rag Ripper! A popular model from the Demon Bane line of chainsaws. At least it was popular on Alternia. Your planet wasn't nearly badass enough for this thing to be sold legally. Beforus was so lame. Lame planet names. You got a juju! Looks like a magic egg timer which you can use to travel through time, haphazardly and stupidly. It's the type of item that's severely prone to making a mess of the timeline. Need a juju breaker to destroy such an item and repair the damage it's done. But that kind of thing is extremely rare to non-existent. You don't have a single good guess what form such an item could take. Okay, you pried one hint out of me. The number 7. You got some authentic religious memorabilia. These were the doodads adult post-scratch Vantis was chained up with when he died. You bet Circuit would fork over a ton of gold for this junk. Religious nuts are some of the biggest suckers around. Irons, Sufferer, authentic, or as authentic as Phantom Ghost memory items get. Hey, it's Shouty, but it looks like he's severely embroiled in a really heavy discussion with your team's Vantis. You really don't feel like getting involved. Listen in on conversation? Eavesdropping? Rude?
Now, I realize we've been at this for some time already, but at the risk of derailing the dialogue you initiated, and may I just say how thrilled I am that you did, Karkat, I would like to qualify my entire analysis of your Alternian culture by saying that in contrast with life on Bephorus, while your people may have been engaged in violent lethal class struggle for millions of sweeps, by no means does this imply that the Bephoran way of life was entirely without problematic elements, perhaps even more disturbing and insidious for their lack of acknowledgement and open discussion, particularly as a consequence of what in my view were widely and dismayingly unexamined systemic social injustices resulting from the entrenched power dynamics in play. Dynamics strikingly similar to those of your planet's markedly more bellicose iteration, which has only served to fully vindicate my hypothesis that such a hierarchy is really predicated on intrinsic dysfunction and failure to shift all the usual narratives and undiagnosed problems into an open, judgment-free discourse through which problematic issues are constructively channeled into more intelligently problematized avenues of discussion. Now, before I continue, it is only decent of me to warn you about certain triggers that are surely ahead in this essay. I mean, conversation. Triggers include, but likely will not be limited to, class oppression, calling culture and violence against grubs, looses abuse, complimentary and analogous hate speech, pale filling, slurries and other concupiscent fluids, lifespan shaming, ableist slurs, prolix dissertation. Actually, maybe it would be easier for you to list your triggers. And I'll do my best to avoid those topics or navigate them more delicately if at all possible. Trigger warning: oppression, calling, grub violence, looses abuse, homophobia, pale slurries. Great. It sounds like you don't have any triggers. At least none that you know about. I'll proceed with caution nevertheless. Just please, let me know if you start feeling triggered by anything I'm saying, and we can take a brief time out while you summon your Moirail to help pacify you. Assuming you have one. Not that I'm presuming you do, but I heard you did, is that correct? If not, I apologize. I further apologize if your orientation precludes the possibility, as a paleromantic, pan-quadrant demi-romantic, something in the grey pale sexual department or such. And hopefully, you are not triggered by such presumptuous concilionormative language. It wouldn't be the first time I was guilty of such an inexcusable microaggression, and I am not so oblivious to my own romantic privilege to believe it will be the last time either. Concilionormativity, microaggressions, round privilege, presumptuous Moirails. I'm glad I brought up the subject of unexamined privilege because it dovetails beautifully with the point I was about to make regarding Befferan society and its savage umbral potentiality, which later manifested through the kind of Alternian brutality you are all too familiar with. Those in the higher echelons of the hemaspectrum, such as ceruleans or blue bloods, careful, being loose with such terminology is opening the floodgates to a whole host of toxic sinus language and homophobic slurs. When addressing the challenges faced by those lower on the spectrum, such as mid-hues or in particular warm caste like umbers, ochres, or rust bloods, another slur highly problematic, deeply offensive and triggering, strongly imploring you to steer clear of this term, they would be well advised to check their cerulean privilege, particularly before dismissing hardships or marginalizing claims of oppression, which can be difficult for them to identify or emphasize with from their advantageous position within the Befferan/Alternian power structures. Dovetail, problematic power structures, toxic sinus language. And some may argue that in our peaceful utopian culture that we have freed ourselves from injustice and disparities in privilege in a post-scarcity economy, largely equal rights distributed across the hemaspectrum, and therefore exist in a post-spectral world, laugh out loud, and therefore there is no need to champion important social causes and there is nothing left to debate. But really nothing could be further from the truth. You just need to educate yourself and carefully investigate the long-standing power dynamics in play. For instance, a seemingly harmless remark from a cis-blooded cerulean toward an umber, or God forbid a burgundy, or yes, even a warm-identifying physically cooler caste, about their very long-term future plans such as on the order of centuries, then this may prove to be a very hurtful microaggression due to the fact that low hues cannot possibly live that long themselves, and the more privileged caste could easily outlive dozens of generations of mid-hues or hundreds of generations of buoys. Burgundy, umber, ochre, yellow-greens. Note, please avoid describing the lattermost as lime bloods, as it has historically been used as an especially vicious epithet. Such remarks can further trigger painful reminders of how cooler castes, to some extent OJAs, but CIPs and Royal Vs in particular, have been able to use their tremendous lifespans over the millennia to gain a stranglehold over the social order, have been able to completely dictate our societal evolution by ensuring only their cultural agendas and narratives receive the dialogue's air supply, assuring the codification of these resultant ideals and deciding what normalcy entails. And sadly, these absolutes became internalized across the full spectral range, even within those of most compromised privilege. And so you begin to see the cyclical nature of the dysfunction and the resulting inertia against positive change and raising awareness of the most unproblematized issues, which, I think we can agree, is pretty problematic. Post-spectral world, LOL, buoys, OJAs, CIPs, Royal Vs, narratives, agendas, narratives. And really, it's everyone's business to examine their privilege, even Burgundies, who may be subject to the pitfall of believing incorrectly there are none on the scale beneath them who they enjoy certain privileges over, which off-spectrum trolls will never know, such as those identifying as other bloods or caste multiples, polyblooded, anyone who hemoglobically identifies as having a caste which manifests nowhere, as yet known, in anyone physically, or for that matter, off-specs who physically do possess such a blood type, or mutants. Very problematic term, highly triggering to some, be warned, such as you and I, Karkat. But this puts us both in a situation which, to our knowledge, uniquely allows us to understand and empathize with tragically underprivileged and unempowered groups across all scuttles of life, thus affording us both what I like to call a uniquely underprivileged privilege, which, yes, is a kind of privilege we should both strive to check as well whenever we can. This same uniquely underprivileged perspective, as I'm sure you know, was disadvantaged upon my post-scratch iteration as well. And while I have no doubt you justifiably came to revere the figure of your planet's rich history and your personal lineage, and while his goals were of peace, equality, and a truly spectre-blind society, I'm afraid I personally have trouble condoning his methods. I don't like to use the term problematic lightly, but, well, his tactics were nothing if not massively problematic to say the least, employing violent uprising to effect change and emblazoning his mark upon history and his faithful followers with the salty flourish of a single rude shouted swear word. It's not to my taste, even though he is who I would have grown up to be in another life. But no, I prefer to effect social change through rational, honest discourse and contributing to ongoing dialogues, focusing on what should be the real goals, through keen adherence to the discipline of problematics, ensuring that we stay focused on successfully problematizing a wide range of direly undercomplicated social dilemmas. Undercomplication, salty flourish, rude shouted swear words, spectre-blind society. It's nice to see we agree on so much. Maybe we're not so unalike despite our drastically different upbringings. Anyway, as I was saying, the story of your ancestor, and more importantly my exhaustive list of misgivings with his approach to social change, is quite a long and elaborate one. But it actually fits brilliantly within the larger mosaic which captures the broad strokes of my post. I mean, our discussion. Trigger warnings for the following content include ancestor bashing, faith shaming, loud swearing, torture, burn wound, ship sinking. Again, seriously, just let me know if you begin to feel triggered by anything, even slightly. We'll pause and see if we can really explore these issues and identify exactly how I may have invalidated your struggles. Without further ado, the story is as follows. Trigger warning, ancestor bashing, shaming, swearing, torture, burns, ship sinking, struggles. You just need to educate. The Befferin way of life was entirely the long-standing power dynamics in play. Even more disturbing and insidious for their lack of acknowledgement in the cis-blooded cerulean toward an umpy as a consequence of what, in my view, were widely and distinctly cooler cast about their very long-term justices resulting from the entrenched power dynamics. And this may prove to be a very hurtful microaggression to those of your planet's markedly more live that long themselves. Now, it sounds like you don't have unexamined privilege, but we have freed ourselves from derailing the dialogue. Caution, nevertheless. Regarding Befferin society, largely equal rights distributed, I would like to qualify, and we can take up the kind of Alternian brutality world by saying that in contrast, assuming you have one, echelons of the hemosphere causes, and there is nothing like lethal class struggle. I apologize. Being loose with such terminology. You just need to educate your way of life was as a paleoromantic and homophobic slurs in play. For instance, insidious for their lack of such.
You rebubble the memory and almost instantly regret it. But now it's just sitting there on your feed, already racking up likes, hates, and additional rebubbles. You wish you hadn't, but now it's out there. Popping the bubble now would make you look wishy-washy to your followers.
You got a pretzeled horse hitcher. Who could have done this to such a fine cast-iron steed? Whoever it was must have been incredibly strong, incredibly smug, and incredibly floppy when shaken. An incredible host. You got a troll romance novel. Wow, this sure is some steamy, trashy literature here. It's making you perspire a little, and you're only 3 sentences into the title. Doesn't seem like anyone's looking. Maybe you'll just take one little peek inside. Whoops, it just disappeared into blur again. God damn it. Lalond! You got a Rediscover. Perfect for threshing royalty with. You could almost say you could use it to thresh princes. Troll Will Smith. You got a magic cue ball. Hey, is this thing a juju too? It's a shame you can't see through its surface, or you'd be able to ask it yourself. This is another thing that's kind of unnerving to find here. Good thing it's only a memory object, right? Right? Maybe. You got a bunch of licorice Scotty dogs. Oh man, these were a delicacy on your planet. The most valuable treat per pound by far. You have to be a very, very wealthy person to keep a great supply of these on hand. By selling these, you should be able to make most of your fortune back in one fell swoop. Except you just ate most of them. Worth it.
Girl, you finally made it! High five!
You know it. I am so fucking ghostly now.
Ooh. Right on, girl! Dream bumps rule! For life! For life!
What?
Yeah, that should have sounded like A life, for life! Like A as an after, but spoken as a number, then for as a homonym for the preposition and stuff. Spoken court confusion. You know how it is. A girl's gotta sacrifice understandability for the sake of radness sometimes.
Preaching to the group of choral singers, Pyrope.
Choral singers? Oh, you mean choir, I get it! But choral is in the funky shit underwater instead. Still rocking the fish puns, I see. Well, that's not really the kind of radness I was talking about, but I'll let it slide. Puns, kinda lame.
Hey, fuck you! Can't believe y'all got shitting on my fish puns right out of the blowhole like that. As if your numbers, BS, and Jack and Z's on the ends of words is any more rad than my ball of wordplay. Or should I say, swordfish play? Nah, that sucks. I mean, your skating and stunts are objectively rad, I'll give you that. But you need to get off your high seahorse because practically nothing else about you is especially radder than average.
Oh, chillax, Paycheck. I am so jerking your fork. I know we've had our issues before, but I could always see you a true rad girl cred. You don't even know how hard it was towing the rad load all by myself with you gone for so long. Towing loads harshes my grimes. Do you even know how lame of a scene it is being the only legit in-your-face power gaming girl in a bunch of bubbles full of brutal posers? Whew. What I'm saying is, I'm psyched to have you back, MP. Hey, hit me up top! High five!
Sure. Still wearing out the high fives, I see, even after, like, what? Eternity? Still don't know how time works here.
Fuck yeah, girl! Oh, never even got to congratulate you on how wicked your rad suicide bomb plan was! Killed the shit out of us! Never saw it coming! Sure never smelled it coming. Way smart. Timing it just before the scratch so that God Tears didn't have a chance to revive before the reset, thus ironically leaving them to be erased from existence. Not that that really even needed explaining. That just occurred to me recently. Was opening the meal vault to make a freaking ghost snack when I was like, shit! Hey, check! I said, all shaking my fist. Don't leave me hanging, girl. High five.
Okay, one more, Pyro, but that's it. I dig a good high five as much as the next bad girl, but my god. High five fatigue. Got this fresh pimp ghost bod looking fine as fuck. I don't need to callus up my palms already. Haven't you heard an empress needs hands so soft you could use them to polish gold with? Question.
Shoot, babes.
Seeing as what a hotshit gamer girl you have a reputation for and all, I figured you would be a lock to join my party to go fuck up Clammy Lord or whoever. Lord of Clams?
Wait, who?
Skull guy. Kills ghosts.
Nope. Help me out, pay money.
Don't you keep up with current events? Current, like, water current? Yes.
You're reminding me why I thought you were crazy, MP. Just freaking spill it.
The shit in the sky, it cracked. A monster did that. Do you want to go help me kill the bad guy?
Oh, why didn't you say so? Sounds like a rad plan. And you know how I feel about the rad plans.
But
hate to be a buzzkill, but it's been what? Approximately hell a year since I did any fighting? Kinda rusty. Oh shit. Don't let KK know I said rusty. Trigger warning, hemophobic slurs!
So
I'm saying I had scads of time to perfect this killer hand plan! Wanna see?
no. Pretty sure don't give much a shit about a trick you do on your four-wheel device. Though I will say, Scads is actually a fish pun you made, probably on accident, which kinda makes me want to give you a hug, so it balances out your dumb shit answer. Fish puns are my one weakness.
I'm sorry, MP, I really am. Feel like such a wet snuggle plane bailing on you like this. Though, maybe you like wet snuggle planes since you can live underwater. I should probably run it by MT, see what he thinks.
Oh shit, you and Captor? That's still a thing after all this pseudo time, or
Yeah.
still red?
Uh-huh.
Mother Glover. Seriously, didn't think that'd last.
IDK, there's way more to him than, well, all the terrible and stupid shit he says all the time. And it's always felt like he needs me, if that makes sense. Even after dying, so there's that.
Fucking afterlife. I know I'm new here, but almost seems like you die and nothing means anything and then you date forever. Sort of makes me want to puke. Maybe in a nice way, though? Couldn't see that wink behind your rad specs, FYI. Anemone way? If you change your mind, just let me know.
You rebubble the memory, thinking it will bring you joy. But it doesn't. No matter how many memories you like or hate or rebubble, you are always left with an empty feeling in your soul. Like your existence is truly as meaningless as one would expect it to be out in the midst of an endless void amidst colossal, hideous monsters. Why do you do this to yourself? And yet, you cannot stop.
Girl, who doesn't want to be me? You think you can just waltz into this bubble and start being any rad gamer girl you cross paths with? Yeah, right! You have a long, long way to go before you earn enough rad creds to be me! Or as I like to call them, crads! Crads! Trademark!
Latula, shut up and just tell me what horseshit thing you want me to do.
It's gonna cost ya. You have to like all of my raddest memories, and then rebubble at least 413 of them! The number 413, not AIE.
You cannot be serious.
Psych!
K-Tools, I'm outie.
Wait, don't be like that. We can still cut a deal. Let me think. Alright, kid, tell you what. Since I dig your style, I'll give you a shot. You may think you rule, whereas most others drool. But what I want to know is, how bad can you thrash stuff? Just need to scope your kickflip chops. Make sure everything checks out. See if your techniques are where they needs to be at. Yeah, girl, show me your stunts! Maybe something in a hand plant. Oh, you know what shit would be wicked malicious? Grinding down a railing! Yeah, hold poles! That ought to be flagrant enough to prove your radness for sure! Force a homonym again, yo. So what do you say, Paycheck? You ready to start ripping up so many hellacious shreds that this fierce shitty business will start getting so deliriously rude brazen it?
Just give me the Boyd Pie rope.
You got Latula's four-wheel device. Oh yeah! What's up, gamers? The door is locked. It appears to be guarding someone's private memories. Looks like it needs a password. You wonder who locked it. Mysterious symbol? A clue? Bonus hint? It's Karkat. It's a little dream bubble, but it does not contain your memory. Only Porrim can see what's inside. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Sup, Miriam?
So, your death certificate is barely dried and you're already busy raising an army, I hear.
How'd you even hear that already? Dag.
Word travels fast here. Plenty of gossip. No one quite prepares you for the fact that on the other side of death is an infinite echo chamber of teen drama. Bubbler. Funny how when we all left our world to play your game, we all thought we were leaving our juvenile school-feeding days behind us.
Yeah, all the more reason to get out of here and fight bad guys and stuff.
I noticed how you cunningly sidestepped an encounter with Kankri down there. Nicely done.
Yeah, poor Shouty. No Moby deserves having to meet a dead teen alt-universe ancestor like that.
I think he might be entertaining some delusion of taking him under his wing. Or if not his wing, the fuzzy red arm of his sweater.
What is with that ugly thing anyway?
I made it for him, actually. For one thing, I got tired of looking at his stupid hiked-up pants. Which he refused to change, ever. Seriously, did you ever see him wearing anything else?
No.
So unfashionable. Also, he was always shivering. It gets kind of chilly out here. And he just wouldn't stop. Not that I minded too much, but he just has this way of making such vocal and ostentatious displays of suffering. Like it's some kind of righteous state of being. It gets difficult for everyone to endure. especially after eons. Hence his nickname, I guess.
Wait, nickname? If there's some new dig on Vantus, I need to know about it pronto.
The Insufferable.
Fuck yes! High five. Wait, forget it. My hand's still sore from Latula. God damn, rad girl. Bitch slaps hard.
Oh, I know.
You do? Wait, that is sounding fishly like innuendo. You and her ever,
I was under the impression that you didn't come here to start trading gossip.
Whoa, you're right. Almost forgot not to be glub and a fuck. Glub exactly 0 fucks. I apologize for prying into your rom life. That was so shrimpudent of me.
It's alright. It's not like I have many well-kept secrets. Come visit anytime. We'll get you all caught up on exactly who's been passing through the well-greased revolving doors to my quadrants. It's a noble idea, but I don't know how useful I'd be.
Oh, come on! Ugh.
What's the size of your party so far? It's still just you, isn't it?
Maybe. Losers? Everywhere?
If I were you, I'd ask all the god tiers first. They'd give you the most tactical advantage, wouldn't they? God tiers. Then you can build your coalition around them. Pajama party.
I guess.
Plus, they're immortal, right? Or ghost immortal, perhaps? Dear God, it's finally come to this. We have to talk about ghost immortality now in a serious way. Ghost immortality. Serious business.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, that's what I'd do.
But I think the thing is, the Skull Lord might actually be able to kill god tiers. At least, ghost god tiers.
Can he?
Like, bypass the whole judgment hullabalooga that makes him resurrect? Whales. Heart. You know, with the fancy clock and all. I don't know.
You'll have to ask Aranea. I'm sure she can talk your fin off on the subject. Sylph of words.
Oof. Yeah, maybe later.
Do you even know who all the god tiers are? There's Aranea. Did you ask her?
Yeah, but she has her own plan. Girl is going on a cherub jam or some bitch-ass noise. F that.
Okay. Well, I hope this isn't too invasive. But what about you? I heard rumors that you reached god tier, but never let on to anyone. Except presumably to Morra.
You don't understand. It's just that fucking thief of life getup. Looked like such ass. I couldn't just parade around in that hideous thing. Got a reputation to consider.
So it's true then. Thought so. See what I mean though? I wasn't sure about that until just now. Rumors are always flying, but secrets somehow persist. Who knows who else reached god tier? A lot can happen in 3 sweeps. I only know I didn't make it. But if you need someone to eerily phosphoresce in the demon's vicinity while debating whether to drink their blood, then I'd like to think I'd easily crack the top 10 candidates you might consider for the job.
Yeah, I know. You'd rock the glowing duties. Poglo. Guess you're right. I should see what other god tiers want to join. The prob is that I don't think becoming a god tier stops you from being lame and terrible. Lame. Terrible. And we got a lot of people like that on our team. So...
This is true.
Guess I'll keep axing round. Gotta bounce. See you, Miriam.
It's a little dream bubble containing one of your memories. You look inside. The memory is from right here on Prospect. You spent a great deal of time there during the long sweeps of your session. You remember this little precipice well. But wasn't there a staircase here? You were almost positive there were stairs. Where do you think you're going? This is Mina's interactive quest through the afterlife. You can only leave this area if you're being her. Nice try.
Kenny, leave this poor kid alone.
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't call me that. We've talked about this. That's what you call a wiggler. Do I look like a wiggler to you, Porrim? No, I don't. It's been 3 sweeps plus eternity for... excuse me, fuck's sake. I think we can safely retire that particular term of endearment. Call me anything but that, even my other nickname. I'm actually okay with that one. Microaggressions. No, wait. Macroaggressions, more like.
I'm not calling you insufferable, Kenny. Well, not unless I'm using it as an actual adjective. And even then, probably not to your face. Well, not often, I mean.
It would be nice if you'd at least use my proper name in front of my studious young Alternian descendant. It really kind of erodes my credibility, and I don't need that in the proximity of a fresh-faced youngster who clearly thirsts for knowledge. Why would you want to sabotage a fine young man's education like that? Fresh-faced youngster, knowledge thirst.
I'm rolling my eyes here. Can you see? Do you want me to light them up for you?
No, but thanks for offering. Could you go roll them over there? Thank you. Now, where was I? How do you even roll eyes without pupils?
I don't think he cares. Hey there, Karkat, if you don't mind my asking, are you even remotely interested in the loaf supplement this guy's serving? Gotcha. You just said all you needed to say. You know, you're actually very cute. That girl who's been wandering around in the dragon suit is a very lucky lady.
Okay, wonderful. That conversation just came to an end. Porrim, please don't hit on my rebooted kid ancestor descendant. It's really weird. Not to mention, he looks exactly like me. I mean, kind of, obviously. So, when you're hitting on him, it's like you're hitting on me at the exact same time, which, like I said, it's weird. It's weird. Not to get into all this again, but the thought of dating you, it's just a strange and vaguely off-putting idea. No offense. It almost makes me understand at a visceral level the bizarre human anathema of incest, which is something I can't really explain. I'm just saying. Trigger warning, incest, anathema of viscerality, vaguely off-putting.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry that I am, perhaps literally, the only one not to ever fall prey to your tireless omnidirectional solicitations, or to get swept up in one of your innumerable fluster-colliginous flings. I happen to always prefer you as a friend, and in any case, I always prefer to lead a relatively chaste existence, as it keeps me focused on fighting on behalf of truly important problems, although saying relatively chaste to you is, I suppose, not saying much.
Hey.
Once again, I apologize. I blundered into the problematic territory of vacillation shaming, thus opening the floodgates to a myriad ways one may be disadvantaged upon by its staggering shame radius. I forgot to check my piety privilege, and here we are. I was going to cover this topic at a much later chapter of my lecture, but we've gotten badly derailed here. Trigger warning, derailment, train wrecks, choo-choo catastrophes. Karkat, I'm sorry for this interruption. I promise I'll get back to my critical lecture as soon as this promiscuous busybody leaves us in peace. Village two-wheel device.
Yes, critical lecture, I'm sure. And am I right in being just as sure you are assiduously deconstructing every conceivable, hypothetical form of injustice, no matter how obscure? Except those that I happen to think are kind of important? Yes.
No. Just no, Porrim. We're not doing this. No. I am not going to pollute Karkat's utterly imperative crash course, in which he is introduced to the absolute basics, by indulging in your pet issues.
Yes, how dreadful it would be for your 69 million word essay to get bogged down by even the faintest reference to the roles of gender in before and an Alternian civilization. Human sarcasm.
Look, it's not that I'm insensitive to your concerns on that topic. I'm interested to discuss them with you on an academic, primarily theoretical level.
Theoretical?
I just think there is inherent danger in muddying the waters of discourse by introducing social issues which are suspect at best, thus consuming crucial resources from the limited cache of rhetoric which propels these narratives. And furthermore, one could argue it's more than a little problematic, offensive even, for you to be appropriating the lexicon of sensitivity used to advance awareness of major issues, thus reducing it to the level of buzzspeak and pseudoscience. It makes it more difficult for those of us who are genuinely focused on positive change to be taken seriously. That's all.
Appropriating? That's not what that even means. Pseudoscience! You did not just.
I'm sorry, I just don't think there's much there. We aren't like humans, whose species bizarrely enough includes highly specialized roles for both sexes in the process of reproduction, and so this naturally had social ramifications for the way their civilization evolved. But that's not how it works for us, so I fail to see how gender factors into the discussion in a way that can be effectively and rationally problematized. Where is the room for unexamined privilege in the dichotomy? I don't see it. And appropriating talking points and awareness-raising tactics for dubious issues like this is, frankly, frowned upon, to put it politely. Such appropriative gestures only serve to marginalize and invalidate those subject to serious, real-life struggles and oppression, and I guess I'm a little disappointed to see you being so blithely and inappropriately appropriatory. Frowned upon, frowns all around, welcome to Frowntown.
Kenny, I'm starting to feel just a little bit triggered by all this appropriation bullshit. Trigger warning, about to kick your tall pants ass.
Oh, my sincerest apologies. I should have done a better job tagging my statements. But for future reference, it's helpful to alert your conversational partners to your triggers well in advance. Should I go fetch your Moirail to help settle you down? And if so, who exactly would be filling that quadrant today? It's the mayor, right? Gotta be the mayor.
Alright, obviously you're in one of your bratty moods. I'm gone.
Don't be like that. Really, we can talk about whatever you like later. I'll be really sympathetic, I promise. Just not around my pupil while he's still learning. Or my descendant. What did I say? Karkat, I mean. Anyway, Karkat, again, I apologize for that. Now, where was I? What? You want to be me? What sort of nonsense request is that? Can't you see I'm in the middle of a direly important word dump? I mean man-to-man conversation with Karkat? I might consider it if you asked more nicely. Or at the very least, more radically.
Hey.
Yo, what's up, girl?
Latula, it's just me. I don't think anyone's looking. No need to go so heavy on the rad girl routine.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'll chill it down a bit. What's on your think pan, Poem Mary?
Meeting our ancestors as kids. Or, I mean, our descendants as kids. However you want to spin it. Decestors? Ascendants? Dancestors. Bingo. It has me thinking about our rebooted lives on Alternia. And what we grew up to be. Makes me wonder about fate. If it's something that's even comprehensible.
Yeah?
For instance, on Alternia, my relationship with Kankri seemed to make some sense. I could definitely see our lives becoming entangled in that way, karmically speaking. But then, there were other developments that are still mysterious to me. Like, as far as I know, you and Aranea always got along, didn't you? Radglare, Kindfang.
I guess. Never spent much time thinking about Circuit, to be honest. Always thought she was a self-absorbed snooze, if you really want to know. Not even the rad kind of Z's.
Exactly. Nothing much to your relationship to speak of at all. But in your post-Scratch lives, you had such major issues together, even your descendants inherited it, and continued the contentious cycle until there was bloodshed. Redglare, Mindfang.
Really? Huh.
Did you not know that? Mindfang gave you 5, then left you hanging.
Never really thought about it. But now that you mention it, that outcome makes all sorts of sense to me.
It does. How?
Just does, babes.
I don't really understand, Karma.
That's 'cause you're not a mind player.
Oh, could you explain to me how it works then?
Psh, as if. That wouldn't be a very rad thing to do. Do I look like Circuit to you? Hey, check out this outstanding heel flip!
I don't... Okay, let's see it.
You rebubble a memory and it is extremely well received by your followers. You're on a roll here. You've been rebubbling on all cylinders lately and it's been attracting quite a lot of attention. You have more followers than you know what to do with. Keep it up. If you can manage to get everyone in the afterlife to follow you, the Dark Gods will grant you the boon of resurrection.
I really can't blame you for being in such a hurry to kill him.
Huh?
The Lord of Time. Actually, it's a good example of what I've always been trying to say to Kankri, but he doesn't buy it. Snotty brat privilege. After the scratch, our world continued to be matriarchal, upon superficial observation, but was subject to a considerably more sinister, cloaked form of patriarchal tyranny all along.
What are you talking about?
Your post-scratch self, who grew up to be the Empress, was really just the Lord's slave all along. Implicitly, during her long reign, through manipulation by his cunning employee, an excellent host. And then, explicitly, after the extinction of our race, she formally became his servant, and did his bidding long thereafter.
What?
He did the same with Damara. She was his loyal time witch, helping him turn our world into the nightmare it became. When her usefulness came to an end, he pitted you and her against each other, in I guess a twisted redux of the conflict you and she had in the past. The outcome was somewhat different this time.
Yo, that is so messed up.
The bottom line is, in addition to being an all-around bastard, this guy appears to enjoy being especially nasty to girls. If it's true he's hunting down the ghost of his departed sister, then I really feel sorry for her.
No, fuck that! Ugh! I'm going to slaughter that ugly muscle monster. Ugh! I will steal his shitty coat and wear it on my throne. Ugh! I will rip off his skull and gild it, and then I will wear it as my crown while his bleeding green torso bows before me. Ugh!
Wow. Best of luck with that.
Do a sick grind down the railing.
That was so freaking radical! Holy smokes, girl! I didn't think you even had grinds like that! So you say you want to be me, huh? Well, you got it! Hells, girl! I'm not sure if I shouldn't be the one asking to be you! Yo, pay stubs, my girl!
Shit tools. I forgot how many rad nicknames you like to cycle through. Passing out names like cheap cuttlefish. You know, I always thought Paycheck was kind of dope. Why don't you just stick with that?
Right on! I like that one too! Paycheck it is! High five, girl! Woo!
No, let's not. Ow! Ow.
Oh, sorry, did I hurt you?
No. I meant. Wow! Yeah. Like, wow! That was a radical hand slapping.
Show fucking was! Dang, it's tight your back! The tightness!
That's cool, but aren't you overstating our prior relationship as something above neutral, just a tad? Tadpole? Yeah, it's a stretch as a fish pun. Gonna count it though.
Well, maybe. But I had a lot of time to think, both before we all ate it and after. The big wipeout! Rad death analogies. And I came to some mad epiphanies about you. Or us, really. I was thinking about you all wrong. For most of the time we knew each other, I was all like, why should there be two badass in your face girls in the group? Sort of overkill, right?
You serious?
I was kind of viewing you as a competitor and like a two-girl rat-off. I was winning in my mind, of course, but see, I had it all wrong.
Did you?
Yeah, see, I'm the team's rad girl, whereas you are the team's bad girl. It all makes perfect sense! Doesn't that make so much sense?
That is the stupidest glubbin' thing to require any sort of rationalization I ever heard. Pretty lame, tools.
See, Paycheck? I knew I could count on you to be justifiably cynical about my neurotic bullshit. You rule!
Yeah. What's up, gamers? I'm Game Girl, and I'm here to show you.
Yo, Pores, you see Pater to stack? Girls in the hive!
I saw.
Pretty rad, huh? This A-Life just scored a little more girl power. Haha! Less drool, more rule. Hey, give me 5!
That's Ow! Not so hard. That's good.
What? Come on! I thought you, of all people, would be psyched to get a little more representation from the ladies up-ins!
Why would that be? It's nice to see an old friend, but that's about it. Up-ins. Meaningless. On all levels. I think you're possibly still caricaturizing my point of view on the subject, assuming we're even talking about the same subject. Much the way your continued commitment to this overzealous rad girl thing still strikes me as a caricature of the kind of female strength and empowerment you're trying to protect.
Say what? That's bogus! I'm this rad because I like being rad. Radness rules!
I know it rules, but there's such a thing as overdoing it. Did I phonetically emphasize that Z enough? Don't you think it can come across as a series of affectations designed to overcompensate for an implicit flaw with your gender? An act which rebuts what should be a straw man, with a cartoonish masquerade that with every kickflip and high five screams,
Yes, it appears that girls can be as radical and as good at games as boys.
thus lending a certain dignity to the premise at the expense of your own?
What? Wait, what? Oh man, rad time's officially harshed. What you talking about, girl? Mina, where'd you go? Come help me be cynical about this! Help!
You can pretend to misunderstand all you want, but we've talked about this before, and I know you're smarter about this than you let on. We were raised in what was a formally matriarchal society, which has always been used as a shield to downplay clear instances of female oppression and obfuscate the relevance of gender roles, particularly where they're weighted against females. But anyone who's looked at our society more honestly can see that while, yes, it is superficially observed as a matriarchy on a fuchsia-down basis, on a practical level, all of the enforcement and political power governing most classes was delegated to the higher CIPs, which were generally male-dominated castes. They got to control the agenda and dictate the social conventions. And anyone who dared to object or bring light to this could always be countered with,
Hey, matriarchy, end of discussion.
fuchsia-down matriarchy, purple-down patriarchy.
Girl, please, don't tell me you're going full Vantis on me here.
No. If I were getting my Vantis on, we'd only be getting warmed up. But that's really all I have to say on the matter.
Whew.
I just think you should be yourself more often. We already know you're strong and good at games and all that. You have nothing to prove.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's kind of stressful sometimes keeping it up. Sometimes I forget to put Z's on the end of words and I really stress out about it. Especially when I'm off my meds. You know, I always did feel better talking to you. Like I could take the edge off my rad thing and relax a little more.
Then let's make it more of a habit, shall we?
Hex yes! Hey, thanks for the pep talk, Popo Mary Gams.
That nickname, it is just so awful.
Oh, whoops. Want me to switch back to porn star?
Mary Gams will be fine.
You rebubble the memory and it is almost universally loathed. You lose half your followers in the blink of an eye. Better be more careful. When your follower count drops to 0 in the afterlife, your soul dies forever.
The girls can game too. Don't go easy on me, guys, unless you want to get beat by a girl. Are you ready? Well, let's do this! Yo, I'm the game girl, and I got the scores because I whip butt and...
Bro, I hear you've been hassling the new kids. What is up with that?
Hassling? Far from it. I've merely discovered a new and far less ungrateful flock which has not yet become woefully jaded to my messages of positive social change. New followers.
You can't fool me, Cakes. You are boring that poor dude to death. You just want to make a ghost out of him so you can keep him here forever. Which ain't right. You have to let that bro die of his own mad volitions. R.E. mistakes. Like us.
Can you scoot away on your little wheeled toy for immature wigglers? I was in the middle of a sermon. conversation.
Why don't you save him some grief and give him one of your old memos? Remember those? How many sweeps did you spend trying to force us to read that trash? Fruity, righteous, blowhard factory!
I don't remember. And no, I won't be sharing my old memos with him. They were written very poorly, and my methods of argumentation were flawed and extremely childish. I've deleted most of those memories from these bubbles, so don't bother rooting around for them. Frankly, they stunk.
Hey!
Oh man, I'm sorry. I completely forgot that stunk was an ableist slur. Please forgive my insensitivity toward your disability. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, sorry, trigger warning ableism.
It's chill. I was only acting offended to bug you.
No, really, it was inexcusable of me. I should have at least preceded my callous remark with a trigger warning. Trigger warning, embarrassed reactions ahead. I have no business making light of your impairment, thus failing to check my nasal privilege and potentially bringing back painful and devastatingly triggering memories of the old cycle of revenge between you and some friends which resulted in the loss of your olfactory sense. I have to admit, I was skeptical at first about whether that really qualified as a true disability warranting sensitivity in the promotion of awareness, but being close to you as a friend and carefully examining my privilege has really opened my eyes. Oops. That euphemism is slightly ableist to the blind. What I meant to say was, broadened my horizons on the nature of disability. Sorry. Nasal privilege, horizons, broadness, horizontal width longening.
Yeah, that's funny! Because it never would have occurred to me to take it all that seriously as a handicap without you making a federal case out of it for so long on my behalf. So, thanks, Kank! Mad disadvantage, bro times.
My pleasure. Really, it is truly amazing that you have managed to triumph over such adversity to become a great role model for others, excellent at video games, and a totally stellar skateboarding person. All while being a girl, no less. Be me? I'm not sure if that's...
Aw, come on, Kankles! Please?
Well... Okay, I'll interrupt my imperative dialogue just this once. For you.
You decide to rebubble the memory, but before you send it out into the abyss, you radically alter the content of the memory, for the lulz. A whole lot of people consider the memory to be lulz-worthy as well without realizing it's been altered, and they rebubble it thousands of times. The lie has officially been rebubbled enough to qualify as truth. The Elder Gods smile upon your misdeeds.
One moment, please, Carcat. I'm going to wander around briefly, in an autonomous fashion. I know you're very excited to continue our discussion, and I promise I'll return very shortly so that we may resume. Just remain standing here in this exact spot, while you take some time to let the wisdom of my words take root in your heart. And try not to wander off with anybody, okay? Be right back. Oh, hey Latula. I thought I heard your device grinding on various surfaces nearby. How are your athletic toy stunts going? Are you getting a lot of air? Am I saying that right? Did you hang 10? No, that can't be right.
You knows it, bro! You can't even touch this! I'm escaping to the side! From above! From every which way, basically!
Well, I wasn't going to attempt to make any sort of physical contact with you, and even if I did, I have no doubt you would be able to maneuver away from my grasp on your speedy little platform. Either way, I'm more than content to let you escape in any direction of your choosing if that's your wish.
Dude, just when I think you've already said the squarest thing possible, you go and say something like that!
I guess. You know, it's really nice we can talk like this.
It is?
Yes, I was just thinking lately about our new post-scratch friends. Particularly the young Vantas and Pyrope iterations on their team, and how they're pretty similar to us but also really different.
Yeah, Little Me is blind! Did you even know that? Have you seen her little dragon suit? Eee, so cute!
Yes, but that's not really what I'm talking about. She and Carcat have a different relationship from the one we have. Theirs is much more turbulent, which is fueled presumably by romantic tension. I'm picking up on some major vacillation vibes from their situation. It's kind of unfortunate, but it makes me grateful that we never got to that point.
Hells yeah! Who needs that?
I'm sure it's mostly due to the fact that we've stayed entirely away from the Stingbug's nest of romantic entanglement, which of course is related to my oath of celibacy, which, as you know, is just a personal choice, one which for some reason my post-scratch adult self eventually strayed from, with Mulin of all people. But that's neither here nor there. Seriously, I mean, she's nice, but really?
You and Muse! Still cracks me up!
Yes, but regardless, what I'm saying is, it's great we stayed away from that. It's helped me appreciate you as a friend and admire all your good qualities. Platonically, of course.
You're right. It's been pretty rad when you put it that way.
Like how you never bought into the usual roles of your caste as an Aqua, not even the more well-intended social conventions of your privileged aristocratic bloodline. You never looked down on anybody or saw it as your civil duty to care for or improve the warmer classes, falling prey to unfortunate tendencies involving cerulean savior complex, or the blue blood's burden. Trigger warning on that, obviously. Which sadly became so inseparable from the fabric of the spectral order, with each class conditioned to view those below it the same way, the obstacles to raising awareness were almost insurmountable. But unlike the cooler hues on our team more privileged than you, like your Circuits, your Zahaks, your Emporas, I never got the sense that you put the slightest bit of stock in any of that. And I think that's pretty amazing. Cerulean Saviors, Teal Templars, Violent Valiants, Purple Paladins.
Yeah, that shit's a drag! Why would I bother with any of that? I mean, I'll help Blue Bloods and stunts and cheat codes if they want, but that's it.
Right. And I'm just saying that if my head were ever clouded by romantic feelings for you, I probably wouldn't be able to appreciate that about you. Just like I wouldn't be able to appreciate the fairly cool Z's you put at the ends of many words, or say things loudly and with enthusiasm, even when it's not particularly warranted. It really is.
Yeah! Woo!
Or the way your hair flows in the wind when you scoot over some sort of obstacle on your device really fast. Or the way you make this funny little noise just as you connect with one of your copious high fives, which can only be heard over the loud slap if you listen really closely.
Yeah. I noticed some stuff like that about you too, I guess.
Or the way you have always shown kindness to people who needed help, without making them feel tragic or helpless for accepting it. Or the way you still manage to look stylish even without your cool shades. Or sometimes when they're propped up on your head, just in front of your horns.
What?
Or, I don't know if you remember, that time Mina baked everybody a cake. It was the first sweep anniversary of entering the game, one of those rare moments of solidarity and good cheer among the entire team at once. Everyone was raving about how good the fresh baked cake smelled, so you took a big sniff, I guess forgetting for a moment you couldn't smell. Then you quickly caught yourself and played it cool, making sure no one noticed, which no one did. But I noticed, and I just thought it was kind of endearing. Anyway, I think all of that would have been completely lost on me if we didn't have this strong platonic bond. Just thought I'd say that. Guess I'll get going now. See you around, Latula. In the future, I'll thank you not to embarrass me in front of my new disciples. Friends. Wait, what did I say? Definitely meant friends. I really don't need you policing my awareness-raising rhetoric. You are not my human mother. Weird human familial structures.
What does that even mean?
You would understand if you spent more time actually researching other cultures to gain a more comprehensive foundational perspective on our systemic problems instead of meddling in other people's enlightening and enormous conversations. I mean, enormous in a progressive virtue.
All these sweeps, and you still act like such a wriggler sometimes. Hey, is that grub sauce on your face?
What? No.
Yes, it is. You have a big smudge of sauce right there. You're a mess, Canny. Come here.
No! No, stop! Don't touch me! I got it! See? It's fine.
Don't wipe it off with your sleeve. Oh my god. I just washed that for you. Ghost laundry.
I don't care. I didn't ask you to wash my sweater. I keep telling you I have no interest in Beforean possessions. Or Alternian, or Earthly.
We aren't on before us anymore. I worked hard on that sweater, and I'm not going to stand by while you encrust it with grub sauce.
I was perfectly happy without the sweater. To be honest, I'm less than thrilled with how it obscures my pant line. You can't even see my nice belt.
Sigh. You make me sigh so much. I'm almost left sightless. Why are you always so contrary with me? To be honest, I think your need to rebel against whatever I suggest is what drives you to the dismissal of my views more than anything about the views themselves.
I don't dismiss your views. I respect them. I have told you this. I think that the role of gender in before society is probably a really fascinating and advanced subject to explore. See, you and I can appreciate the subject, of course. I just don't think anyone is ready for that yet. There are so many other hurdles to overcome first.
Hurdles? Canny, you should seriously stop overthinking this stuff. Even I don't know what you're talking about most of the time.
Look, I'm just saying, it's a huge risk opening that can of dirt noodles, trying to educate people on that subject on top of everything else. I just don't want to distract from all the more glaring issues that desperately need the full attention of our people if we are going to make any progress as a civilization.
Progress as a civilization? Kankri, our people are extinct. And you're worried about distracting from the more glaring issues? Everyone is dead!
Porrim, I'm very disappointed to hear you say that. That was an extremely corporeal normative remark. Corporeal normativity, morality privilege, soul-shaming.
You rebubble this memory, and one guy who follows you decides to be a huge pain in the ass for some reason. He baits you into a publicly rebubbled argument which lasts all day. When it's finally over, you look back at the meaningless exchange and ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? By which, of course, you mean death.
Whoa, Mina. I didn't see you come in. You should have come say hello.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to bother you and shouty at you over there. Or talk to, or listen to, or be around you.
It would have been alright. Carcat and I were only a few hours from wrapping up our first of what I'm presuming will be many, many sessions together. So many. You and I have so much to discuss. I've really crystallized some problems. Eternity has really helped me make some progress on issues that matter to everybody, even groups of people who don't technically exist. I've had a lot of time to think. About that, and about us. Our team, I mean. And the mistakes we've made which were probably blessings in disguise. I know we had our differences, with you claiming the role as sort of our de facto leader in terms of strategy and execution. Literal execution, I suppose. While I rose to prominence among our peers as the undisputed spiritual shepherd of the group. Herding all these goddamn wool beasts. Fucking pain in the ass.
Whatever you say. Undisputed spiritual shepherd?
I've also heard you're recruiting members for a militia. Another bold endeavor. Not surprising, though. Before you embark, I do hope you'll set aside at least several sweeps to listen to some of my—
Hey, Vantis. I really want to hear more of your garbage and listen to it all with hella bated breath. Baited like worms and such. Fishing. Like, I really missed that. You have no idea. But I have to go do a thing. Yeah. Real quick.
Oh.
Can you wait? Like, right here. Exactly this spot. For a few minutes.
Absolutely. Really, no hurry. I'll take the time to prepare some of my opening statements to better contextualize my prohibitively loquacious harangue. I mean, friendly banter.
BRB, dog.
Be Mina.
Vantis. What? Now's your chance. Let's blow this nautical stand. Nautical? Popsicle? Close enough. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to. Shouty, you can't let that boring nerd tell you how to roll. You want to stand here listening to his shelf-important abalone all day?
Not really. Shelf-important baloney? Goddamn sea dwellers.
Then come on! Vantis, give me a password.
Huh?
This is your door, ain't it?
What makes you say that?
The symbol on the door is same as on your fucking shirt. Come on, it ain't blast-off device science. Pachoo!
Okay, yeah, it's mine. Maybe I got tired of interloping shitbags traipsing through my private and personal memories.
You don't need to whisper anymore, ain't no one around.
Oh,
Now what's the password?
move over, I'll type it for you.
No, just tell me, Shouty.
Oh my god, that is so unreasonable! How is it not pretty much the most reasonable fucking thing in the world to let me type my own password?
Dude, you want Kankri to find you and talk your nubs off again?
No, anything but that. Oh dear god. Alright, I'll tell you, just don't go blabbing it around. The password is...
What?
Hmm?
Bro, you gotta speak up.
If I hate myself so much, then why don't I go hate marry myself? What are you, death?
That's your P word? What in Glub's name does that mean?
Nothing! It's none of your business. It's just something that reminds me of an old friend, alright? Can we get going now?
Fuck yeah. This way, Shouty. You will not regret hitching your wagon to my starfish.
Oh my god. You didn't. You didn't. Could it be? You did! You brought me a horse! Look at this glorious knotted up horse hitcher. This is the most amazing present I've ever received. I will cherish it forever. So, hey, do you come here often? Friska, who?
Oh my god.
Well, a deal is a deal. I am now at your command.
Why? Why did I have to bring this idiot that horse hitcher? So Shouty, or Kankrat was it? Been meaning to ask you, hey, where'd he go? Sigh. It's so hard making friends.
You got a 2010 Spirited Horse calendar. You flip through it and... Yep. Hearts Boxcars is still farming all those goddamn horses. Fucking pain in the red cheeks.
Hey, you see where Louder Vantis went?
Yes, I saw him scurry by a moment ago. He went that way, into a memory of his old neighborhood.
Man, what gives? Does my breath stink, or do I need a fish mint?
I think he just wants to be alone. He tried to lock his memories away from others, I guess without realizing these bubbles can be very permeable. If the memory is big enough, people will be able to wander into it from many directions. He probably won't be too happy to find more of our friends hanging out there.
Oh shit, more of the old gang is that way. Guess I better go talk to them too. Yay, more useless tools. Probably have to bail Shouty out yet again. Damn kid makes you work.
That's probably why you're obsessed with him.
Shut up. Yo, what is this shit? You selling something here? If so, I should warn you, I'm a little low on funds these days.
I am offering explanations. I will explain anything you desire.
You must be out of your sea sponge if you think I'm a part with anything of value for a shitty speech.
Oh no, you misunderstand. It is I who will pay you 5 boombucks if you listen to an explanation on any topic of your choosing.
Oh, good grief.
So what topic will it be?
Hang on. I'm thinking.
Can't decide on a topic?
No, can't decide if it's worth listening to you even if you pay me.
Ah! Now I know you're messing with me. I know you can't say no to easy money.
Yeah, you're right. If I fall asleep, do I still get paid? Lay it on me.
The Seer of Blood played quite a different role on our team from that of his successor, though his potential as a blood player went similarly unrealized. It was only when he grew up on Alternia did he begin to tap into his abilities, triggering recollection of our lives on before us, and what we all went through. He remembered our more peaceful way of life, and his desire to unite people. As an adult, he was able to do this much more effectively and maturely, heroically even. He learned how to inspire others, and be a true leader, even when the costs were stacked against him in his violent culture. It cost him his life, but his message lived on. I believe the Knight of Blood now carries his burden, whether he has decided to accept it or not. Many of us on Alternia grew up to become secret followers of his teachings. Just as many of us now follow them, though I'd say with a bit more detachment, because we're dead. Speaking personally, I'd refer to myself as more of a fan of his story and what it represents. Both the hidden potential in our friend he never quite found, and the hidden potential in all our people. During our session, Kankri's trials as a leader were just as frustrating as those of his successor. He found it very hard to get others to take him seriously. While you would often try to divide us with your troublemaking and turn us against each other to make us stronger, unsuccessfully, I might add, he would try to unite us through proselytizing and lecture, just as unsuccessfully.
Wow, that sure was a bunch of stuff I already knew.
Yes, and now it is fresher in your memory than ever. Thank you for listening, and here are your 5 $.
Pleasure doing business with you.
The Knight of Mind, to even the most casual observer, is clearly the more radical instance of the two Pyropes. Both, of course, have disabilities which, if discovered, would slate each for culling in their respective cultures. Culling, of course, means something quite different on Before Us. It means she would have been selected by a member of a higher caste for adoption, and coddled excessively. But for someone with a lifestyle as radical as hers, I'm sure you will agree that would have been a fate worse than death.
Circuit. Yo, this exposition is some straight up redonkulous junk, even by your standards.
Would you like to make some money or not?
You know me. I am all about the boonjammins.
Then please, stand there quietly while I continue.
Finn. Fine.
After the tragic incident which left her nasally impaired, her mighty dragon Lucis, ancient and wise beyond our comprehension, began to teach her new ways to smell, to reinvent the sense, using other sense organs such as eyes and ears, awakening completely new experiences in her mind. She was truly an inspiration, and proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that any handicap can be overcome, and doesn't have to stop you from being as rad as you can truly be.
What? Circuit, are you whistling through my blowhole with this idiotic shit?
Yes, that last part was a joke. Lighten up, Paige.
Yeah, what do we have to do to seal this deal here? Seal? You know, the marine bark beast.
Well...
Just tell me the bare minimum of what I need to hear to snag my boonies and run.
Okay, even though Latula has been dating Mituna steadily for eons, it's hardly a secret to anyone that she and Kankri have had complicated unrequited feelings for even longer. So really, much like their descendants. And we're done. Here you go.
Fucking score.
The Maid of Space was, of course, our all-important space player, and Stoker of the Forge. But, as you know, we never really made much progress on the frog breeding front. Or really any aspect of the game before the Reckoning. Way too disorganized, way too much teen drama. Much of that drama, of course, centered around Kankri, and Porrim tended to be the one to keep him out of trouble. This relationship persisted in their lives on Alternia, which, unfortunately, didn't work out too well for her in the end. I'd address my involvement in that, but you seem to be tapping your foot, so I think I'll just skip over that part of the story. On Before Us, well before her drinker abilities had awakened, she grew up in the caste almost solely devoted to tending to the mother grub. hatching the young and proliferating the brood. The Jade Bloods were also an almost exclusively female cast, and she began to resent the roles she was hatched into, designated for both her class and gender. She challenged these roles wherever they existed before in society, as well as where she found them woven into our session, in kingdoms, class assignments, consort culture, and the like. But over the sweeps in our failed session, she found within herself a renewed interest in the duty that came with her bloodline, which was, of course, the persistence of our people, a burden which her descendant must now bear. All life on before us has been wiped out, and we'd failed our game, so she helped me search for a way to reset the... I was almost finished!
You're just telling me shit I know, Cirque. She was sort of my friend too, remember? Can't you spice this jam up?
I don't...
Didn't she, sleep with everybody? Give me all the dirt on that.
What? No, Mina, I'm not paying you so that you can listen to me indulge in such scandalous gossip. Now, what was I talking about? Gosh, I've lost my train of thought.
Why you blushing, girl? Oh my god, you and she? Huh? Noodles of intense curiosity. Oh man, why didn't you ever tell me? I thought we was friends.
Look, 3 sweeps is a long time to spend in a failed, pointless session. You look into the future and see a life lasting for maybe thousands of sweeps with nothing to look forward to, and... It was just kind of a phase, just a little red fling, okay? It barely even lasted half a sweep, and hey, if I give you 10 boonbucks, can we stop talking about this?
Make it a cool 100 and you got a deal.
Oh, fine! Just take it!
Her imperious condescension thanks you for your generous contribution to the new empire.
I'm glad you were such a good guy this time. You really were hatched to be such a bitch!
This leads to the end of the game. Are you sure you're done here? That's the end. Continue playing on the next page.